this week's question: how do I pivot my in-person business to virtual or maybe even partial virtual? So this is exactly what I did with my insurance brokerage firm. When we were awarded a contract with the government, I decided that this is a numbers game. We've got to get as many people through the process, through appointments, through choosing coverage to make the most of a short window of time. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I own an insurance brokerage firm, and our goal is during open enrollment to enroll as many people as possible. Now, typically that is a very short window of time. So typically it's only November 1st to December 15th. But if you've been around, seen the news, there are lots and lots of extensions happening, special enrollment periods that are currently open, like the one right now that was passed by President Biden. So I'm taking us back to many, many years ago, probably 3 or 4 years, when we were originally awarded the government contract with the health plan finder. So I realized that we were going to be getting a ton of business. Tons and tons of people were going to be calling us, coming to visit us, wanting to get help with their health insurance. And what I realized was that if we have in-person appointments, we're not going to be able to get as many people taken care of as we need to, because we are the only storefront that is in Pierce County. So what I decided to do was to transition things to as virtual as possible. So what that means is doing everything over the phone. Now, what we decided to do was take a couple different options, systems, things that we were doing, and make them seamless so that the transition from client to client appointment was so much smoother. So let's talk about one thing that we did right off the bat, and that was our phone system. So I know a lot of people that start out their businesses, they're just using their cell phone because they don't want to pay for two phone lines. And I strongly want to caution you against doing that, because one day your business will get so big that you're not going to be the one answering the phone. And the same was true for me. That transition from going from cell phone to business phone number was a rough one. So take it from me, just get a business phone number. Now, if you can do that through your phone carrier, so we have a VoIP system, like I mentioned. So we were given a phone number through them, but you could also do something similar with Google Voice. I know there's all sorts of different options. You could even buy just a completely separate cell phone. That's an option too. You just want to make sure that there's a separation between your personal life and your business life, because if you don't, it will eke in to each other. And it's very hard to stop that combination of both your personal life and your business life once you've already established the fact that this is my cell phone. You can text me, you can email me, you can talk to me, call me whenever you need. It's very hard to separate that later on. So we chose to go with a VoIP system. Now, what's nice about that is we have the option to call using an app. So you calling our office, you would have no idea that you might be talking to me on my cell phone through the app. You want to make sure too that you have a strong enough internet signal, because VoIP is done through your internet connection. If your speeds are not fast enough, that means you're going to sound super robotic. You might not be able to connect your phone calls. It can be very frustrating. So before you purchase that system, make sure that your internet speed is fast enough to not only take care of all of the devices that you're using, but also the phone system. The other thing that we decided to do was we decided to focus on text and email. So originally it was just me answering the phone, and I would say on the message, I would say, I return phone calls between 3 and 4 o'clock every afternoon. If you leave a message, you'll get a return phone call back during that time. But what I realized was people don't want to wait that long. They might need an answer right away. It might be something super quick and easy that they just need a response on. So what we decided was to invest in a texting software. So what that does is that allows people to text in our existing phone line, and it pops up on your cell phone, again, in an app, and that makes it easier for people to text you, get a quick answer to a question. Same thing with email. I made it a priority to respond quickly back to email and text messages. Now, what this does for clients that are calling the office, they realize that they're not going to get a call back until the later afternoon, so they'll send you a quick email or a quick text message. And a lot of times, It's so much faster to respond to someone because their request is super short and sweet. Now, that kind of jumps in line with you're also going to be training your clients. I wanted folks to realize that if they sent me a text or an email, it was a far faster response time than leaving me a voicemail because most of the time, clients just need a quick answer. It doesn't need to be an hour long in person appointment to get their questions answered. It's usually something short and sweet. So if someone does need more time, if it's something that I can't answer over text, then I will shoot them my scheduling link. This is another thing that we decided to do. And when I tell other business owners about this, sometimes they get a little freaked out by it. But hear me out. Hang on. Let's talk about what this is. So, online scheduling means that you are opening up your calendar so people can schedule appointments themselves. Now, what makes this great is that the scheduling software that we use also allows them to reschedule or cancel their own appointments. Again, saving those extra phone calls. And it's something that I've noticed that a lot of people like to schedule their appointments, reschedule, cancel, whatever the case may be, after hours, usually 8, 9 o'clock. But the best part about our scheduling software is it shoots me an email and also automatically updates my calendar. So sometimes, especially during open enrollment, I'll go to sleep with nothing on my calendar. And by the next morning, the calendar's full. Now, there's a caveat. You have to be very careful with things like this because if you don't block out your time of when you're not available, people will fill that schedule up, especially if you're in a similar situation where you've got many different funnels of clients coming in from. That could be from Facebook ads, it could be from the Health Plan Finder website, it could be from a multitude of different scenarios. So you've got to make sure that you're mapping out your week on your calendar, knowing that someone could be scheduling for a spot if you leave it open. So just keep that in mind because that has caught me once or twice when people have scheduled and I'm like, dang it, I wasn't fast enough. They got to it before I did. So something to keep in mind. These four things were just the beginning of many things that I did to turn my in person business into virtual. Now, like I mentioned earlier, this started many, many years ago, but the benefit of having a setup like this is when coronavirus started and we were all sequestered to our houses, no one could leave. It really wasn't that big of a transition for us because not only do I have an office phone, but I also have the same phone in my home. So I just switched from working at work to working from home. And no clients saw any difference in my availability, being able to get a hold of me. The Calendly links that they've always used are always open. People can schedule anytime they need to. And I think it was a real benefit for clients. The feedback that I received was that when you're stressed out, you may have just lost your job, you're panicking. Being able to go online and schedule yourself, knowing that you don't have to wait till Monday at 9 o'clock to hop on the phone and get an appointment scheduled, gives you that sense of relief, knowing that, okay, I'm scheduled. She's going to call me at 9 o'clock. I'm first up on the schedule. I'm going to get all my questions answered and everything taken care of. Same thing too on the weekends. I've always told my clients that you're probably going to receive some sort of mail, and it's probably going to be after 5 o'clock on a Friday night, and you're going to stress out about it. There's no need to. Shoot me a quick text, shoot me a quick email. As long as I'm not working with another client, I'll get back to you right away, and then you can move on with the rest of your weekend. So, these tips that I have used throughout the years to create a virtual business have been amazing. Now, keep in mind too that when you're not tied down to a physical office, even though I still have mine, I could literally be working from anywhere. I could be working from the beach on Bora Bora. You just don't know because the phone number that I'm calling from, thanks to the app, makes it easy to look like I'm calling from the office. So this might be an option for you if you're thinking about, hey, I'm starting out in this state, I could be moving, I might be moving to a different country because it's more affordable there. Whatever the case may be, turning your in-person business into a virtual one might just be the ticket.